In 2004, Barisan Nasional took the Selangor state with 54 out of 56 seats. It was an extremely convincing win. You, in fact, I think in the run-up to that elections had claimed that maybe Selangor would not have any opposition representation at all. Pembangkang Sifar, I think you called it, right? 2008, we saw a complete reversal. Barisan Nasional took only 20 out of the 56 seats. What happened? Why did Barisan lose in 2008?
I think what's happened in 2004 is quite important because we do the persembahanan semula on that one. Then why we launched a zero opposition on that time? Because past launching their program to take over Selangor, on that time we counter back with the zero positions. As a politician, we must make sure that our grassroots leader very confident, have strong feeling to win the elections. After that, in 2008, I think we can categorize in three level of issues. One is a global issue. Secondly is a national level issue. And thirdly, of course, state and local issue, you see. Globally, you can see many countries on that time changing their governments. Okay, the feelings, I think, will affect Malaysia on 2008. The second level of issue is a national issue. And then we have leadership issue in UMNO. And then, of course, the cost of living, I think, going high, everybody complain. Then the oil or the fuel price going up, sugar price going up, and the government don't give any bonus to the government servant on that time. And then many issues, and Dr. Mahathir also, one of the issues attacking our leadership. And then the other things is an unresolved issue after he came out from the prison on that one. Okay. The third issue is about state level. State level issue, of course, we have a lot of issue. People say about demolishing the temple or something like that. And then Broom Award, people say like that lah. And then other issue locally, I think we are quite confident on that time. But the Chinese on that time and the Indians, we do some analysis, we found that they are not happy. So many things, especially toward the issue in the national level.
With some of the wins that you've had, I mean, there's still quite a number of members, especially UMNO members in the State Assembly. But many of them, except yourself, you had a very large majority of 5,000 votes or more. Many of them have less than 5% majorities. So even though there is UMNO representation in the State Assembly, it's still very unstable. And are you concerned about that? It must be also that the Malay ground shifted in 2008 against UMNO.
Yeah, because when Dr. Mahathir, I think, attacking our own leader, and he has so many followers. Of course, one of the factors is. And Anwar Ibrahim also, he can attack so many Malays to support their struggle. And then UMNO in very weak position at that time. That's why we're losing a lot of seats. Even though we win with a small majority, especially in the urban area and semi-urban area. I think we won in Serdang, in Puchong, I think, by a majority of 45 votes. And then around the urban and semi-urban, the majority is less than 1,000, something like that. That's of course, on that time, you see, when we do the redenominations, Persekutuan Semula 2004, we go on the angle that we try to put the percentage of voters in terms of Malay, Chinese, Indians almost equally, you see. Let's say, if the Malay area, they only have about 55 to 60%. The rest, we need to give for the non-Malays. Because we want to see the future politics in Malaysia, you see.
So you're moving towards more mixed constituencies?
Yes.
Now, what would you have done differently? Looking back, if you knew what happened in 2008, what would you have done differently at that time?
And at that time, I think if we the Daun and parliaments, and without do the Persemanan Semula, I think we can maintain more seat compared to what we have today. You see, somehow in Selangor it's quite difficult because like today, see, we see in terms of percentage, voter percentage in Selangor now, 51% is non-Malays, only 49% is Malays. That's why the urban area like Selangor, you see, we need to accept that there is a big changes in terms of political thinking of the people. Okay, they decide their decision to support any party because of some issue played on that time. You see.
Right. One of the issues I think is very important for many Malaysians is the issue of corruption. And I think that was probably something that, at least a perception, that your government was corrupt. And do you think that is something that UMNO can now move away from, that there is an opportunity to, mengharumi nama UMNO, to make it again a name that is associated with good governance and the like?
I think good governance of all is a major issue for every election, you see. And then corruption, of course, there's within perception and reality. That's why we need to explain to the public that, okay, even after Pakatan Rakyat took over Selangor, so there is a lot of allegations, perception and corruption toward that government, you see. Because I think many Malaysians not really understand how the government operations technically need to be explained to them. You see, so sometimes, let's say tendering, we do not know what is happening in tendering. Okay, and then we do not know what is direct negotiation projects. They will not explain well. That's why this thing must be explained well to the public before. Otherwise, what is still thinking that every project given to any company, they say crony. And then they say it's a corruption involved because they don't know really what is happening on the processes. In fact, as Menteri Besar, normally we don't sit in the tender board. We don't sit in the tender board, in fact, because it's all done by the professionals. But this thing not explained well to the public. That's why the good governance issue still hanging around till today.
Now, one of the other things, of course, is the question of leadership in UMNO for Selangor. Since you have stepped down, you have also stepped down from the leadership of UMNO and Barisan, I think. The Prime Minister has taken over as the head of UMNO in Selangor.
And Chairman of Barisan Nasional.
And there is a perception that, in fact, UMNO and Barisan had not found a new leader. That since you have left, there's a vacuum, a leadership vacuum in Selangor. Is that remains a problem today? We are only a few months away from a general election, maybe less than that. Do we know who would be the Barisan Nasional Menteri Besar in the event of a Barisan Nasional win in Selangor?
I think this not only happened for Barisan Nasional. This happened also to the Pakatan Pemangkang. You see. I don't think so Khalid will hold the post after the election, you see. That's why in politics we cannot name those will be going to be Menteri Besar Selangor if any party win the election in Selangor, you see. But what I see is so many leaders can be trusted to lead Selangor, and we can see this one after our Prime Minister released the candidate of election for the general election 13. From that we can see who going to lead.
Do you know who is going to be?
I don't know. It's under prime prerogative.
Okay. I understand one of the campaigns that the government, the federal government has today is Sayang Selangor. And that is a campaign that's carried on the KTM trains. We see, messages about understanding the cost of living issues. But the central figure in it is the Prime Minister. It is not a leader from Selangor. Is that a problem that can the Prime Minister's own charisma, he's said to be very charismatic, his popularity is still steadily, he's held a fairly high position in terms of his personal popularity, can he carry the party in Selangor?
I think Prime Minister will not carry Selangor, he carry the whole Malaysia. That's why they try to promote our Prime Minister image first. Secondly, of course, we're going to promote about the BN image, and then we're going to promote good governance kind of thing. See, but in terms promoting leader to be Menteri Besar Selangor in the future, I think it's not wise move, because whatever name, see, we introduce to the public, they will see in a negative way. That's I think why our BN or Pakatan did not really endorse any name to be Menteri Besar after the elections.
It's been said, and it's always in the blogs and the internet, the analysis that that UMNO politics in Selangor, there's too many warlords, too many generals. That everybody is now, fighting for that position. Is that true?
No, I think that's perceptions. We in Selangor now, we're moving as a team now. We need to work very hard to get back Selangor, that's all. We don't think much on the how or who is going to lead Selangor in the future. Because I think our Prime Minister have the ideas. Might be the names already to be lead in Selangor.
Okay.
Leader in Selangor.
So we're waiting for the Prime Minister to give the slate, so we will know exactly who it is that. Well, at least we could guess.
Not only one, you see, there might be a few names there.
Right. Okay.
All professionals, and there might be a mix between old and new faces.
Right. Now, what is the main message that UMNO and Barisan Nasional is going to deliver in this election? What is their main message?
First thing, like our Prime Minister say, we have very strong message that janji the party. And what happened in Selangor, the present government have promised us so many things, but end up by they fail to fulfill their promises. I think we're going to have more, we call social project in Selangor. Because Selangor, we don't depend on infrastructure anymore, you see. We need to look more on social project and how to reduce the cost of living of people in Selangor, especially housings and other things. Okay? That's I think the main agenda.
Do you have any specific projects that you can talk about at this point?
So far, I think housing is one of the main projects going to be explained by our Prime Minister before elections. You see, housing in Selangor is very important, and lately the cost of house is very, very expensive because the present government charge, I think, extra tax to the developers now. They call charge development charge 30%. That's make the cost of house in Selangor very high. Secondly, about the water crisis. I think when BN take back Selangor in after the elections, we can resolve water crisis and the water in the future for people of Selangor. That's, I think, among the two very important for the Selangorian.
Do you think there's anything good that has come out of 4 years of the Pakatan Rakyat government? Is there anything that you personally think was not so bad? There actually might be an idea that you might keep in terms of continuity, in terms of policies?
I think the free water is quite good and well accepted by the Selangorian, I think. If BN take back the Selangor, they should continue the free water policy. Other thing, they might have very good program, but there is no follow up. Let's say about the microcredits program, and then about youth development programs. But they not continue the project there. Only I think they go and touch and go in terms of implementations. We need to admit that. Some of the program introduced by the Pakatan Rakyat is quite good.
And finally, Dr. Khir, what is your role going to be in the campaign? Are you going to be out there doing ceramah? Are you going to be going house to house? Are you going to be... What is your role? Is it in part of the kind of strategic dimension of the campaign?
You see, campaign in Selangor is very complex compared to other states in Malaysia. Because we are very mixed area, you see. In the urban area, city area, That must be very different type of campaign compared to the rural areas. In rural, maybe we can go for house to house. See, in the urban area, I think that's not practical anymore. Same goes to the semi-urban area. I think we must have we call program how to outreach to explain to the public what we're going to do.
And what is your role?
My role is, of course, I involve in ceramah, then I involve in meeting all NGOs, and then we have some dialogue with the NGOs and any association in Selangor, to explain what is the different policy between Pakatan Rakyat and Barisan Nasional before. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.